X is a big source of news for a lot of people. What do you feel like X is doing right in terms of news sources, and what are they doing wrong?
Well, I think the one thing that X is doing right that I can speak of is the community notes, but people don't often read the community notes as often as
I always do. It's funny.
I look forward to
community
it has
notes
community
first.
notes. I'm like, okay, I'm going to read that tweet then.
But I mean,
yeah, me too.
But I think people read the tweet more than the community, and not all of the tweets that have conspiracy theories or lies or attacks or whatever, they don't all get community notes. I think it's left up to the community. It's not left up to the company.
The good thing is they have the readers added context.
Right.
So you can have like anybody in the entire world, like as long as you have a big enough, I think it's a amount of people need to say, okay, this needs more context. And then it gets flagged in that way. The other great thing is that it's open source. Yeah. So you can go and you can actually look at the way that they decide to community notes.
What's kind of open source? You don't know what they're doing with their algorithm. You don't know what they're suppressing. You don't know what they're amplifying.
True. That aspect of Twitter is not.
So you have they could be, who knows? Can they suppress the community notes? I have no idea. I don't know, but I'm just saying that is an issue for all social media companies, what they're doing with their algorithms. And people are, even if it's open source, you still don't know. You still don't know what's happening with their algorithm. So I think that's the one thing that they're doing. But I think it would be better if the company actually did it, if there was moderation within the company, because then it just wouldn't be people's opinions. And it wouldn't be like Wikipedia where anyone can go in and change your bio and whatever, that sort of thing. I'm not saying it's good or bad, but that's the comparison.
Would you say overall X is a good or a bad place to get information from?
I don't think it's a good place now. I think it has been in the past, and it could be in the future. I think it has become a cesspool for conspiracy theories, mostly on the right, like far right conspiracy theories and far right, sort of enablers or people who just want to, and far right misinformation.
Why do you think it's more prevalent on X than other platforms?
Because I think X was the first to do the sort of, you can sort of post whatever you want. I think that because I thought that Twitter had become too toxic for me, but then X was just like, wow. I think it's because it's kind of the wild, wild west. You can say whatever you want. And when you do that, when you don't have moderation, when people can be attacked for who they are, when people can be lied on en masse, you turn off a lot of people and they go away. They don't want to be on your platform. They come up with other platforms. Like, what is the Instagram thing now? Threads.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They come up with other platforms. So
I think a good thing though about X is that anyone can contribute to any sort of dialogue, which is a good and a bad thing, right? Because like you just said, you can have extremist people that have a voice, but at the same time, I feel like a majority of people are good and they want to contribute to a productive conversation. Whereas in other media platforms, like especially legacy media, there's no like checks and balances. There's no comment section. I've noticed on a lot of articles, I was looking through CNN earlier today, and there's no place where like you can say, I think this is lacking context. I think this is selective journalisming. Like I think
You don't think that's good? Because that's actually getting rid of the exact thing that you don't like, is that
I think
it divides people. I think comments often divide people. I don't think that a story on legacy media necessarily needs the comments from people. You read the story, and then you get out of it what you get out of it. It gives you the information and the facts.
Here's a great example.
But not everything needs to be commented on.